What's up, guys? AllMuscle. I want to introduce you to my new project. It's this guy right here. This is a 2003 CL55, the AMG series car back in 2003. This is the coupe. It was the basically the flagship coupe that they had back then, which in my opinion is still a worthy car to have in the fleet. This one here, I don't know. This was somebody's vision, guys. I don't know what happened here, but these are the wheels of choice for somebody. As you can see, they've this is an aluminum panel here, the quarter, and it's already tore through it. Way too oversized. We're looking here at a 285 40 19. And look at that god-awful tire stretch on these right here. Wow. I mean, this is the rim protection here from the tire, and I could fit my whole hand in there. Anyways, that was somebody's vision here. I picked this up fairly cheap, and we're going to be building this car. I don't know. I don't want to call this a build, but maybe a refresh, a reconditioning. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's too much of a build as a restoration, I would say. I'm just gonna walk around and show you the interior of the vehicle here and the rest of the car. We got minor things on the interior. This little switch panel coming off. The seats seem to be in pretty decent shape. We got an issue with the center console. It doesn't open. Also had an issue. Cracked front windshield. No, I don't know. There's just like dirt. I mean, it's just dirt nasty in here. So we had to remove the rear seat. The rear seat was removed because the trunk would not open. On these vehicles, it's very common that the pneumatic system for the trunk fails and you're unable to get into the trunk. So as you can see, we've already done that. That's the first thing we did. I had to make sure there was nothing. Believe me, I found different types of things in these cars and the trunks. I've found some, stuff from needles to I don't know, porno magazines, to all kinds of shit in the back of these cars. Baseball equipment, sometimes something cool will pop up, like a nice knife or a nice tool. Sometimes I've gotten, various tools that I actually still own today. Let's pop this hood here real quick. I'm just going to go ahead and open the whole car and show you around. So this is the AMG engine. It's a pretty powerful car. It's got like 500 and some odd pound-feet of torque. It's a good solid European muscle car, if you would. Now, right off the bat, when the car pulled in, this fender is like literally only got one bolt holding it. It's got one bolt holding it. Again, cracking of the fender due to the wheel choice here. Cracking of the rocker panel. Basically, I think what happened here is the car got hit, so we've got damage, and I'll show you this here in a later video. This is the damage that we're gonna have to take care of. I'll show you this damage here once we get the fender off. That's gonna be for a later video. But anyways, it looks like the car suffered something from the front, some type of hit from the front end, and I think it was a lower hit. I've got an oil cooler down here. When it pulled in, the oil cooler was dripping, steadily, and all it was this fitting right here, right on the bottom portion of the oil cooler. It was just finger tight, so I took a couple wrenches to that and tightened it up, and there goes the oil leak. So I sealed it right up. As you can see, the trim panels on on the front bumper are missing. This is the AMG style bumper, so they're kind of pricey, but luckily I already have one. Let's get on this. This car happened to have the keyless go system, which is inoperable. These buttons here are missing the little rubber insulator that goes on them. Also on the keyless go button here on the shifter, it doesn't move. It's solid. So we'll have to get into that. And also on the dash, I have a SRS light. Here's the other side. Luckily, on this side, you could see. I don't know if you can or not, but yeah, there you go. This is the damage caused by the bumper here, obviously, and the quarter just chewing away at this tire. So again, way oversized. Very poor choice of wheel package on this car. Anyways, but luckily we didn't get a tear in this one. This one didn't tear, so there's no damage on that. Anyways, let me show you how I got into the trunk. That was a big deal, actually. So we removed the back seat, and in hopes to get an access port through there, but there was none. If you look in here, usually on most cars you'll have an access point somewhere in the back, underneath the back seat or behind the back seat. So we hit this jackpot here, and we said, okay, that's cool. It looks like a nice access port from the initial findings, but then come to find out that tapping on that, and I hear this hollow, familiar sound, and basically what that ended up being was the fuel cell. So can't even cut into that or make a port. So we had to go in a little deeper. Anyways, I've seen a lot of people, or not a lot of people, I think I've seen a couple of videos where somebody actually just ruined this front or this rear license plate surround area, this trim, if you would. But I didn't want to do that because, yeah, I can replace it for $100 or $50 or whatever, and I've got access to my trunk. But this number here is a stamped VIN number on there. It's got a sticker, and I didn't want to ruin that. It's authentic to the car, and it matches everything. So what we did, we actually pried this light out. Now we are going to need another light because that one had to be ruined because of the way we took it out. It broke the clips on that hold it in place. Right now it's actually kind of just sitting there with the rest of the tape or whatever. But let me see if I can wiggle that out. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, so as you can see, these clips here, these are the ones that these two tabs all the way across. There's a couple more and a couple more and a couple more. Anyways, those are the ones that hold it in place. So we were able to get that out. Then we removed these two screws, and the LED just fell out and fell back into the trunk area there. And then we were able to use a Slim Jim and figure that out. We were able to jim that up and open it. But anyways, so what we're going to do, as you can see, I've already got this one here. This is a CL500. This one also I picked up at a local auction. Damage on this car is very minute. It's basically that. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to use everything that we can off of this car in order to repair this one. This one is a CL500. This is a CL55. This one is a clean title car. This one is a salvage title car. They both have under 100,000 miles on them, but very obvious which owner kept their car in better shape. I'm going to show you this one last thing here on this vehicle before we move on. So I've got a bunch of systems here that have defects. Trying to get the cluster. Somebody cut off the mufflers on this car. Somebody cut off the mufflers and the resonator. So if you wanted to hear how a CL55 sounds without the mufflers and the resonators. That's a cold fire up right there. That's a cold fire up. Just fired it up. I don't know how well this mic's picking everything up, but it's just on my phone. If you do, hopefully it'll sound, or you'll pick it up. Anyways, yeah, somebody thought this car was a Camaro SS or a Mustang GT or something like that. And then, so 95,796 is the mileage on this car. Under 100,000. That's why I picked it up. Because usually something that's in this shape, not really a fan of. But under 100,000, I think I picked it up for just that $3,000. So it was a pretty damn good buy, I think. But I mean, you know, obviously I have that money there sitting there in parts if all hell, you know, everything fails. So I want to try to make this car something drivable, something nice, something that's going to be reliable. And it looks to be like, you know, somebody did maintenance the motor. It seems pretty fresh and clean under here. No oil leaks. It looks pretty solid. I mean, so far so good. It fires right up. No check engine codes that were on here you know, that I noticed. But a lot of stuff's been disconnected. I've got wiring down here to this reservoir. There's a couple pumps that have been disconnected. I have front end collision sensors like this one here that's been disconnected, and then also the complete strut system, the hydraulic strut system, which is the ABC, has been deleted off of this car, and somebody put in the good old coil spring setup. I guess that's you know, that's a popular thing to do if you don't want to deal with the hydraulic system on these cars, because it's expensive to fix. But guess what? That's what Mercedes designed this car around. That's how this car, I think, rides the best, feels the best, corners the best, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and return that system back to this car and make it fully functional again. I hope to make it fully functional again. Hopefully we don't have any hiccups. But here's this is the pigtail for the hydraulic strut there. Same thing on the other side. So what we're doing first off is we're going to go ahead and replace the suspension from this car. This car, again, under 100,000 miles, mostly in excellent condition and very, very good condition on this car. I mean, everything in here is mint. Let me see if I could fire this guy up. So somebody kept good care of this car. It's obviously, if I'm looking at it and looking around the vehicle, I could tell that this was definitely a garage kept unit. Fires right up. Got a little wrench light. I'm going to turn this back off so I can see the mileage on here. 93 on this car, so this car is just a little bit under what the other car has, but again, right at the same mileage. But the two different owners, guys. Two different owners. These are the AMG. These are the correct AMG. This actually has the AMG package. It's the same color. So a lot of the parts on this car are gonna go right onto the other vehicle. These are the AMG wheels that are correct for the CL55. This is what should be on the car. Here's the rear. They are staggered. I believe one runs a 265 tire in the rear, and then the other one in the front is a 245 tire. So, show you under the hood of this. We're going to be using this complete front end, actually. Everything in here is pretty much identical to the other car. The front bumper, the headlights, the grille, the hood, the fenders, everything on this front end here is going to be probably used for the other vehicle. So if you noticed on the other vehicle, this is the complete reservoir system. There's a pump down there, a tandem pump they call it, and here you could see here that this connector is actually plugged in, you know, basically showing that the ABC system on this car functions properly. I drove this car a little bit before we decided to tear it down. Basically, when I got this car, because it was a salvage, I don't normally buy salvage vehicles with the intention to keep them, and I don't fix salvage vehicles. The problem with salvage vehicles for me is the resale value, and of course, like this Corvette's a salvage, so that's going to be tore down. We're going to use it for parts and then scrap the remaining of it. Now, the reason I don't fix salvage vehicles, yeah, sometimes it's very minute, like this one here, and the damage is minute. Is what I meant to say, like this one here. But the reason I won't fix this car is because the resale value and the fact that the banks will not finance it. When I go to sell a vehicle, like something like that maybe, you know, under $10,000, somebody might have the money laying around. What I've found is, like, if you're trying to sell a salvage vehicle that's I don't know, $10,000 or lower, you might catch somebody that happens to have that money laying around. Usually, for the most part, $5,000 or lower, you'll be able to sell the car and not have an issue with somebody trying to finance it. They'll have that type of money hanging around, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. When it gets up to the $10,000 range, it starts getting a little scarce. People don't really have $10,000 to spend on a salvage vehicle. Even if they're getting a deal, it better be a super deal. So for me, to fix a car like that makes no sense. And I see a bunch of people on YouTube, oh yeah, I bought this salvage fucking Ferrari. Okay, well, you better keep that thing because nobody's going to finance that. And I'm damn sure that somebody that can afford to give you $50,000 or $80,000 for that salvage Ferrari might just go put that down on a brand new Ferrari and buy a brand new Ferrari, and they don't need your salvage piece of crap. So I don't understand these videos that come up and like, oh yeah, I just bought this, for $42,000, this Ferrari. Okay, it's a salvage title, so you're gonna end up taking that one to the grave with you. Otherwise, you're gonna end up just giving it away, losing a whole bunch of money, and that's bad business. I don't. Obviously, if you're using it to generate profits on YouTube, then that's a different story. That's the only real way that people are getting away with it right now, is because they're generating other sources of income from their YouTube videos and their channel and whatnot. So, but I don't play that bullshit game. If I buy something, it's going to be either something that I keep or I'm able to resell, or obviously if it's a salvage piece like this or like this, they're going to go away. They're going to go for parts. They're going to be used to fix other vehicles. And that's the way I do it. But anyways, I'm never going to try to sell a salvage unit, especially a $40,000, $50,000 car. I had a GTR here a while back. It had some front end damage, but it was a clean title. Fixed up the front end, put it back to the auction, sold right on the first run. The GTR cars, they're scarce, they're few and far between, and as soon as people see them, I think they just jump on them. So had no problem with the GTR. If you haven't seen my GTR video, actually, well, I don't know, it's been about a couple months now that I've got rid of it. And as you can see, I've got I seem to have a fleet of Mercedes cars here. This is a 211. This is a 550 E550 car. This is a 2000. Actually, it's 2007. This is a 2006. I'm sorry, this is a 2005. But it's been facelifted with the front end. We put in the new mirrors. Also did the I had a 09 AMG car that I replaced the wheels on it from. So we did a package on this as an update package. Basically, just kind of refreshing the car from a 2005 to about a 2000 up to a 2009. We replaced the taillights. We put a rear valance on it. This one here. These are both nice driving cars. This is a CDI, actually. This is a diesel car. A ton of power on this car. Excellent gas mileage. I take it everywhere. Comfort. This is my son's car here. Some time ago, I gave him this really nice Cobra. Got under 100 on it. I keep telling him to sell it. Let's get something different. But he seems to like it. So we're going to hang on to that, I guess. On this side here, we have a E55. This is a 2006 E55. And what's special about this car is that it is an E55. It is the later model. 05 and 6 were the nicer ones. They had, obviously been refined a little bit from the 03s, but I don't know how well you can see that. But this has the two-tone black and blue, the navy interior, and I really like that. I really like that. This is a nice car. It had some bullshit wheels on it when I picked it up, something like this, and I don't know what I did with them. I think I put them on another car and got rid of it. But anyways, the wheels that I have on it now were from the car that I think I've swapped them and got rid of the other car. So these are basically 550, 350 rims from 07 and up. But we did change the tail lights on this car to the 07 and up style, and then also did a filler panel on it in the rear here. So the back end looks like an 07. This is the E55. This is, let's see, let me pop the hood on this. This is a nice car, actually. I really like this car. Only thing I would have liked to see when I picked this car up was original paint. This car does not have original paint. It had been repainted when I picked it up, but the paint job on the vehicle was an actual decent one, not something that you would get at your 24-hour paint and fitness facility. But yeah, this one here, when I picked it up, all the systems in the car were down, and the electronics were going haywire. I'd put the battery on it, fired up, and then everything would just light up on the dash like a Christmas tree. So what we ended up diagnosing was an alternator. We put an alternator in it, and everything came back to life. Now, one of the corners back here on these on this aromatic suspension on this car, one of the corners is low, and it leaks air on the one side. So this will need a new set of aromatic springs on it. But anyways, that's my fleet on this go around. I know I haven't seen you guys in a while. I've been obviously, you can see I've been real busy, guys. I really like making these videos. I get a lot of questions, I get a lot of comments, and people actually seem to like my channel and what I do. I guess I'm not taking it too serious, but I mean, like I said, I get a lot of comments, and I try to help people out with some of the things that I share. There's a lot of fixed videos, a lot of engine videos, a lot of different videos that I do, not just trying to hustle people and put a bunch of videos out to to capture. I don't know how they do this stuff now, but I'm a little older. I kind of don't get into too much on the computer and all these ad sales and revenues and all that crap. But anyways, I just do the videos that I do. I don't do a lot of editing. Sometimes most of the stuff that I put out is raw. Basically, whatever I say, that's what it is. Chopping things out here and there because I didn't like what I say. That seems like female type work to me. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go on this one. I'm trying to get some work done today. Hopefully, we're gonna go through actually and start from the rear end of the car. A lot of the trunk paneling inside this car is tore or shot and ugly looking. So we're gonna start in, and we're gonna basically take this car from the back, and we're gonna just work our way all the way to the front. The front being the hardest part. Once we get the car looking sexy and sleek again, we'll get a little bit more motivation to get into this. There's going to be a significant amount of work in here. Not too bad, but there's going to be some drilling and tack welding and separating of some panels underneath that fender. It's a little crunched under there. So once we get in to doing more videos on this car, this is just going to just start off a series that I'm going to do. When I find something that's going to have some kind of, once I get to a certain point, and then I see that there's a significant amount of work that's been done, or some things that I can talk about, then I'll make another video. So maybe I'll do like, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 videos by the time I wrap up the car. I got my son, he's down there, he's working. It's hot as a mother today, and he's got his wet towel on his neck. He's working his ass off. This is my dude right here. He keeps everything moving for me. Well, anyways, this is a C6 Corvette 2008 with the LS3 motor, 44,000 miles on it. everything on here is for sale. If you guys want to know where I sell some of my parts and what I do with some of the excess stuff that I have, it's on eBay. And what I have is a seller ID, Golden State Auto. It's one word. Check that out. Any parts that you see, any parts requests that you might want to send me, you can send me on there, or you can send me a message on on YouTube, email, or just